For more than 4 decades, General Hospital has been defined by its legends, characters and performers whose presence reshaped daytime television and whose absence leaves a silence that echoes through Port Charles. Few names carry as much weight, history, and emotional gravity as Anthony Geary and his iconic alter ego, Luke Spencer. Now, in a move that has stirred both tears and gratitude across the fandom, General Hospital has revealed an ambitious, deeply emotional plan to honor the legacy of the man and the character who forever changed the soap landscape. This is not simply a tribute episode. It is not a montage, a fleeting mention, or a soft-focus goodbye. According to insiders and creative voices close to the show, this is a multi-layered, story-driven, emotionally immersive celebration. One designed to honor Anthony Geary the actor, Luke Spencer the legend, and the generations of fans who grew up with both. What follows is a look at how General Hospital plans to honor a titan, and why this tribute may become one of the most unforgettable chapters in the show's long and storied history. Anthony Geary's influence on General Hospital is immeasurable. When Luke Spencer first arrived in Port Charles in the late 1970s, no one could have predicted that the character would become a cultural phenomenon. Luke was brash, complicated, wounded, charming, and often reckless. He was not a traditional soap hero, and that was precisely the point. Geary infused Luke with depth, danger, vulnerability, and humanity. He challenged the genre's conventions, demanded smarter writing, and elevated daytime drama into something closer to serialized theater. His performances earned him a record-breaking number of Daytime Emmy Awards and reshaped what audiences expected from a leading man. But more than awards, Luke Spencer became the emotional backbone of Port Charles. He was a son, a brother, a father, a friend, a rebel, and a romantic whose love story with Laura Collins transcended television and entered pop culture history. When Luke left the canvas for the final time, the absence was felt immediately. When Anthony Geary passed into legend, the loss became permanent. And General Hospital knew that honoring him required something extraordinary. Rather than presenting a tribute that exists outside the narrative, General Hospital's creative team made a bold decision. Luke Spencer's legacy would live and breathe through story. At the heart of the tribute is a sweeping, character-driven arc that unfolds over several weeks. This storyline does not rush grief or nostalgia. Instead, it allows Port Charles to feel Luke's absence, just as the audience does. The plan centers on 3 core pillars. A narrative farewell to Luke Spencer. A meta-tribute to Anthony Geary. An emotional reunion of the show's history. Each pillar is designed to stand on its own, yet together they form a complete portrait of a man who was larger than life and still deeply human. The first phase of the tribute begins with devastating but quiet news. Luke Spencer has passed away off-screen. There is no spectacle, no sensationalism. Instead, the story honors Luke's spirit by allowing his death to resonate through the people he loved. The news arrives like a shockwave. Laura Collins receives the call first. In a performance described by those on set as career-defining, Laura's reaction is restrained, intimate, and devastatingly real. There are no grand speeches, just silence, disbelief, and the slow realization that the man who defined so much of her life is truly gone. From there, the story ripples outward. At the emotional center of the tribute is Laura Collins, portrayed by Geary Francis. The show makes it clear, Luke Spencer's story cannot be told without Laura. Rather than revisiting their romance through flashbacks alone, the writers explore Luke's impact through Laura's memories, both joyful and painful. She reflects on who Luke was at his best and worst, the man who challenged her, protected her, broke her heart, and changed her forever. Laura does not romanticize Luke. She remembers him honestly. This approach feels intentional, mature, and deeply respectful, honoring Anthony Geary's insistence that Luke was never meant to be perfect, only real. In one particularly powerful episode, Laura walks through familiar locations tied to Luke: Kelly's, the docks, the old Spencer haunt. Each place becomes a silent witness to a life fully lived. As word spreads, Port Charles comes together in a way only this town can. Characters from every era are affected. Bobby Spencer's legacy looms large, as Luke's bond with his sister is remembered with warmth and regret. Sonny Corinthos grapples with the loss of a man who was both adversary and ally. Anna Devane reflects on Luke's role in the spy world they once shared. Tracy Quartermain, sharp-tongued and emotionally guarded, reveals unexpected grief, proving once again that Luke Spencer left his mark everywhere. The tribute allows each character to mourn differently. Some tell stories. Some lash out. Some withdraw. Some laugh through tears. It feels real because grief is real. The centerpiece of the tribute is Luke Spencer's memorial service, a sweeping, emotionally charged event that serves as both a narrative climax and a love letter to General Hospital history. Held in Port Charles rather than abroad, the service becomes a gathering of generations. Familiar faces return. Old rivalries are momentarily forgotten. Long-buried emotions resurface. But this is not just about Luke's death, it is about his life. Eulogies are delivered not as speeches, but as stories. Characters recall moments that defined Luke. His defiance of authority. His fierce loyalty. His reckless courage. His refusal to be controlled. Through these recollections, Luke Spencer becomes fully present again, not as a ghost, but as a force that shaped everyone in the room. While the storyline honors Luke Spencer, the show never loses sight of the man who brought him to life. In a rare and powerful creative choice, General Hospital blends fiction and reality during the tribute. The memorial episode concludes with a special dedication to Anthony Geary, featuring behind-the-scenes footage, candid interviews, and unseen moments from his decades-long tenure. Viewers see Geary laughing between takes, debating scripts, mentoring younger actors, and commanding the set with quiet authority. Fellow cast members speak directly to the camera, not as characters, but as colleagues and friends. There is no narration. No dramatization. Just gratitude. One of the most emotional elements of the tribute is a letter, written by the show's writers but voiced through Luke Spencer himself. Discovered among Luke's belongings, the letter is addressed to Laura, his children, and the people of Port Charles. But its message clearly extends beyond the screen. It speaks of love, regret, freedom, and the importance of living boldly. It feels like a farewell not only from Luke, but from Anthony Geary to the audience that followed him for decades. For many fans, this moment becomes the emotional breaking point, the instant where character and actor merge into one final goodbye. Why this tribute matters. In an era of fast storytelling and fleeting attention, General Hospital's decision to slow down and honor Anthony Geary properly feels almost radical. This tribute matters because it respects the intelligence and emotional investment of the audience. It honors legacy without rewriting history. It acknowledges complexity rather than simplifying it. It treats daytime drama as meaningful art. Anthony Geary never wanted Luke Spencer to be a caricature. This tribute ensures he never becomes one. As the tribute arc concludes, Port Charles does not return to normal, because it can't. Luke Spencer's absence becomes part of the town's fabric. His name is spoken. His influence lingers. His choices continue to shape future stories. And Anthony Geary's presence, his voice, his spirit, his uncompromising artistry, remains embedded in the DNA of General Hospital. The final image of the tribute is simple. Laura stands at the docks at sunset. The wind moves gently. The water reflects the fading light. She smiles through tears. "Goodbye, Luke," she whispers. "Thank you," the show seems to say. General Hospital's plan to honor Anthony Geary and Luke Spencer is not about closure, it's about remembrance. It is about acknowledging that some characters don't just leave a show, they become part of who we are. They age with us. They challenge us. They remind us that flawed people can still be extraordinary. Anthony Geary gave daytime television everything he had, and then demanded more from it in return. This tribute ensures that his legacy will never fade into reruns or nostalgia. It will live on, in story, in memory, and in the hearts of fans who grew up believing that one rebellious man from Port Charles could change the world.